Napak local government leadership and administrators of the returnee host schools have petitioned government to supplement the World Food Programme availed food supplies to the 308 repatriated street children. Losike Joyce, 15-year-old in primary 6 at Lokodiokodio Primary School in Napak district, is one of the 308 repatriated children to Napak district in Karamojong. The exercise was conducted by Kampala Capital City Authority. Losike says she had lost hope of continuing with education after dropping from primary 5 in 2019. She could only wait for cultivation seasons to have what to do, and this is when she was lured to the street by a friend.
She was influenced by a friend that the friend told her, if education has failed, if there is no one who is now supporting you, why can't we go there? Then she was at home, she could only wait for cultivation season. There was no any other thing she was doing apart from waiting for that season of cultivation.
Losike says she's now happy to be back to school after they were netted and returned by KCCA. She is ready to settle and complete her education.
So she's saying that life is okay in school and she's enjoying now school life.
She's however not happy with the little food they get, lack of clothing and a metallic box where she can keep her belongings as a boarding child.
So she's saying that the only challenge she has here is the issue of the food. So the food is not enough. Then the other one, when they were brought from Kampala, so the very clothes they came with are the very ones they're having now. And most of them have one pair. And those are the very clothes they're having. So she has a challenge with the clothing.
We are now facing the problem of these children not having the lockable boxes where they can keep their things. And then one challenge again is that these children, where they are sleeping, it doesn't have the power, the lighting system.
She is happy that her family in Matany support seeing her continue with education. Losike's words represent many in the same situation at Lokodiokodio Primary School and Lotome Girls School. Nabok Martha is the head teacher Lokodiokodio Primary School, which has an enrollment of 949 pupils.
Since she stayed for 5 years out of school, she's now in P6. We are experiencing low learning in her. So we hope to say, in case any teacher will be willing to help in giving her extra lessons, is there going to be any motivation?
Abra Ann Margaret is the head teacher Lotome Girls Primary School with a total enrollment of 937.
LWFP provides us with food, all right. In fact, they were kind this time round to tell us feed them for whole meals, all the 3 meals of the day. And we are happy to them. But however, even amidst that liberty, the number is still big, and then of course these rations sometimes may not be all that commensurate to this African child.
They face a challenge of understaffing with a ratio of 221 learners per teacher. The task will grow bigger when other children retire home for holidays. They are asking government to make a consideration of the situation.
There are girls who are willing to learn. They are actually determined to learn now. Just as you can see practically, these girls have a mixture. They are children under 6, the school going age. We have actually struggled. We are struggling with them because they are actually not fit to sit in the class for the hours they are supposed, or for the minutes they are supposed to sit. So I am actually appealing that these children who are underage be catered for. In which way? Right now we are 8 in number. We are 8 teachers in staff, posted, and in the payroll. But the number is exceeding. We now have 949 children present in this school. Now, if we say we ration them to these teachers, it is quite overwhelming. The other day I was rationing, and the P1, the infant classes were rationing 221 per teacher.
As others are breaking home during all days, they are going to remain in the school. Now the challenge is the teachers. Teachers are very few. The teachers that are established, that the government is paying, there are only 13 teachers, including myself, and one teacher is not with good health for some good years. So if government can give us more teachers to support these children, even during all days, there could be some other teachers who may be wanting to help these children in classes. I don't know, is there going to be any motivation in case some teachers say, I'm not going to for holidays, I want to help these children. Is there going to be any motivation?
The two appreciate that girls have shown interest and are determined to study, although they are experiencing a challenge of the young ones who don't fit to sit in classes and need caretakers. This was during a handover of assorted commodities.
Today we had the pleasure of coming to the 2 schools in Napak, where the children got from the street were integrated from the streets of Kampala into the school system. Of these, about 150 were girls and the rest are boys. We have had support, a number of support from partners, and today we have got support from Window International, Uganda, who have come along with scholastic materials, items, sanitary items for the girls, books, reading material for the young children in school, and this is going to go a long way in supporting the children in school.
Joyce Nakoya, the District Education Officer Napak, says they have received continuous complaints of little food supplies, which has forced some of the children to escape from school. She says, although they can't meet all their needs, they are trying to create an environment that will make them love school than being on the street.
We have had a few challenges of the big ones that I'm saying, who are escaping, and when we asked them, what made you run away? Most of them were expressing the little food, that they are getting little food and therefore they were hungry. That's why they tried to go and visit their parents, but come back. Because most of them were confessing that for us, we just went, but we're hoping to come back. So the challenge is how to keep them in school, how to make sure we meet their needs. I know we can't meet all the needs, but what is that we can do as a district to give them a good learning environment, such that it does not make them think about the street, but makes them feel school is a better option than us being in the streets. So that is what we are crumpling up with. That's what we are struggling to do, to ensure they have food in school. But of course, 75 grams to a child, some of them don't feel they are satisfied with the 75 grams of food that they are receiving. So hopefully we are looking for support. We are lobbying for somebody to give us supplementary food so that we can top up the food of the children. Nutrition is key for these children. Therefore, we are looking at also those areas of nutrition. How best can we ensure that they get nutritious food? So they have a challenge of changing clothes. The girls, the knickers, you can give them a pad, but without a knicker, where will the pad go? The pad needs to hold on a knicker so that it can stay.
Nakoya says they have availed schools with counselors to rehabilitate and integrate the repatriated children among other learners. There are also plans to reunite them with family members to assure their retention in schools.
In each of the schools, we have 4 parasocial workers. In each of the schools, we have 4 parasocial workers who are supporting the children. And then through one of our partners, we're able to get a matron who is paid, and then a counselor. That organization is supporting us to pay 2 in Lotome girls and 2 in Lotome boys. So they are paying these workers to support, to guide, to counsel the children as they are in school, while the matron supports those who are young. There are those of 5 years, there are those of 5.5, 6 years who cannot wash for themselves. So the matron was employed to support that area. As a district, from the time we brought them, we are trying to organize and schedule. On the 27th is where we are inviting all the parents to talk to the children, so that we are also there to interact with the parents and make them understand why their children are in school. Yeah, some of them actually who had and came to follow, they confessed that they did not know their children were in the streets. For them, they gave up. They thought the children had died. So when they got the children in school, they were happy. And therefore, that was a thumbs up for us, because if we are able to put these children in school and they are settled now, then we have a greater hope that even the ones who are still behind, if they are brought, we are going to do the same. And if we can sustain this for about 3 to 4 years, that means we would have made a difference in the lives of these children through education. This donation is a smile on the faces of the children, and even to the managers of the institution, because they have been worried, how do we maintain these children in terms of scholastic materials, exercise books, and all that. Now that we are receiving this from your support, we are so grateful, and we are sure that this support is going to make a difference. We are solving one issue, which was the mattresses. We are solving the second issue, which was the blankets. This is a cold season, and they will need to cover themselves. With the support we have received from Grindle, we are sure that we shall be able to keep these children in the schools.
She calls for more support in feeding the children and other necessities, including clothing. Napak District Chairman John Paul Codet says putting the returnees in school will curb the children trafficking business, which had turned into a problem to the Karamojong community. Codet appreciates the support and campaign of integrating the repatriated children in school.
There has been integration before, but these children keep going back. So as a district, we now thought to address that challenge was to bring the issue of a school. That we mapped about 4 schools where we integrated these children, and these children has to stay there for 3 years. Then we review the program. Now the other challenge was that how can we feed them? How can we access scholastic materials? The mattresses, the blankets, where can we get them from? Because these children are straight away from the street. They were arrested, they came with one cloth. So we are happy that when we drum about the challenge we had, many partners came in. Now we are happy finally with Wendell International for really helping us. So those are the challenges right now. The challenge of scholastic materials are almost going to be addressed with this, because this is what we really didn't have. Now the other one that has remained behind is about the issue of boxes, because they have clothes. Now where will they keep? So we are still making extending hand to whoever can help on the issue of the boxes.
The Executive Director, Windall International Uganda, Andrew Mara, donated items worth 50 million shillings. He says they give support to ensure returnees are retained in school.
We are here in Napak district responding to a call from the district leadership of Napak, a call in respect of the children that have been on the streets of Kampala and other urban areas. We've carried instructional and scholastic materials, we've carried sanitary materials, we've carried personal effects worth 51 million shillings to support these children. As some of us might know, these children were resettled or taken from the streets with one set of clothing. So many are in need of support for various personal issues. We are working alongside other partners who we appreciate have already gone before us to support these children. And we also thank the district and the head teachers who have played a key role in supporting them despite the limited support or resources that currently are in the schools.
Napak Resident District Commissioner Dennis Okori received the items, which included mattresses, blankets and scholastic materials. He says this will strengthen the new approach of keeping Karamojong children off the streets of Kampala.
The program is fully backed by government now, as our focus now is to make sure the children are put in school other than directing reintegration into the community. Over the past years, it has always been get children, rescue children from the street and reintegrate them into the community, not school. But with a new approach through the District Security Committee, we thought it better that the children, the best place, the safe haven for children is school. So if the children are first brought to school, they are safer. It gives them a safer environment. They are with their peers. We have the teachers here who are under government and paid by government. So there is a lower cost and there is a sustainable measure to it. We had great support from World Food Program that has given us food. They are supporting, complementing government in a regard of giving a meal, an additional meal to the children where they are now getting supper. Initially, the support that has been coming through has been breakfast and lunch, but the additional support of supper and then feeding, weekend feeding, is enabling these children not only to stay in school, but has also helped in to strengthen on their malnutrition. The malnutrition issues that we had have now been worked through due to this feeding program by World Food Program.
He says the target is to have 1,500 children reintegrated by the end of this year. A number of measures have been put in place to stop the ferrying and trafficking of children, and he anticipates a complete end to the vice in the near future if all said programs are put to proper use, calling for more support from their partners.
So we continue to call upon partners of goodwill, members of goodwill, to make sure we give support to the children in school. It is a new approach that we are looking towards to make sure that all the children outside, the target that we have as a district is to make sure that by the end of this year, 1,500 children are brought back to Napak and are put in the school system. We have identified 5 schools. Two of these schools already have the 308 children. Our commitment is making sure that all the children, the target that we have, is actually brought and sustained in the school system. But this will come with a lot of support. The idea of the district is to make sure that the government is able to pilot compulsory primary education, in a sense that now we are looking at partners, support from partners, but over time, all these schools will be fully funded. The feeding program will be funded fully by government to make sure that the children are supported, and this seen as a program to support the children in school.